Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. Some shadows never fade, yet in their soft outline they teach us how to keep going. Tonight we're not chasing gossip, we're honoring a feeling. If you've ever missed someone so deeply that sunsets felt like letters you couldn't send, this story is for you. Some messages do not arrive with the blare of trumpets. They enter the room like dusk slipping across a windowsill, and you realize the light has changed. Some shadows never fade was that kind of sentence, unassuming, almost weightless, yet charged with recognition. It did not try to dramatize grief or parade private sorrow. It simply named a truth many adults carry quietly. Love does not end when a life does. It alters its form, keeps a respectful distance, and lingers like an outline that guides the eye long after the figure has stepped away. Psychologists call this a continuing bond, but most of us know it without the terminology. We feel it when a familiar song loosens something in the chest, when a sunset seems to speak in a voice we don't hear so much as remember. What made the line so powerful was its refusal to demand anything from the reader. No proof, no explanations, no insistence on intimacy. It offered space rather than spectacle. In a culture that often confuses visibility with truth, this restraint felt radical. The sentence carried its own boundary, and in doing so, modeled a way of being public without being exposed. It let audiences of many countries and faiths stand in the threshold together and acknowledge a shared human seam, the place where absence meets attachment. Mature viewers know that grief is not solved, it is tended. The sentence tended it. There is also a craft to its music. The cadence is simple, almost liturgical. Some shadows never fade. The phrasing opens a door to memory without dragging us through a corridor of detail. It invites witness, not intrusion. Under its shade, people can remember softly. Hands at rest, breath lengthening, the nervous system settling from alarm to steadiness. That quiet physiological truth matters. After heavy news, the body seeks rhythm, and language like this lends it. Perhaps that is why the message traveled so far. It was less a statement about two individuals and more a lantern held high enough for strangers to walk by. Where gossip fractures attention, this line gathered it. Where speculation accelerates, it slowed us to the pace of evening. And there, in the measured light, the sentence did its most generous work. It reminded us that dignity is not a pose, sorrow is not a spectacle, and love, when it matures, learns the art of remaining without clamoring to be seen. When the cameras leave, love stops performing and starts enduring. It sheds the choreography of public splendor and returns to the elemental. A cup cooling on the table, a window left open to hear the evening settle, a bracelet that sits on the wrist with the quiet weight of a remembered hand. There is nothing theatrical about this kind of love. It does not require an audience, only a rhythm, a way to be faithful to what remains. You sense it in the palette people choose when they are grieving, gently rather than loudly. Softer shades, fabrics that do not startle the eye, a wardrobe that listens more than it speaks. White flowers in many cultures offer respect rather than spectacle. Muted blues carry the promise of steady water. These are not codes to decipher a private life, but the universal grammar of human care, spoken without words. Love in the afterlight becomes a practice rather than a declaration. It might be 5 minutes at sunset, the day's noise folded away, allowing the heart to name what it misses and then to breathe. It might be a line written in a notebook and sealed, not to be read until the year turns and the reader has become braver. Therapists sometimes call these moments time-bound rituals, a corridor through which sorrow can move without flooding the house. The aim is not to forget. Forgetting is neither possible nor desirable. The aim is to carry memory in a shape that does not wound the hands that hold it. There is also the discipline of boundaries. After the cameras, love protects as much as it remembers. It refuses the temptation to turn private pain into public currency. It honors the art and the work, scenes, songs, the craft that touched so many, without rummaging through what was never offered. In this restraint is a courtesy to the living and the dead alike. It says, "Your life gave us light. We will keep that light without trespass." In time, the daily gestures accrue a kind of holiness. The window becomes a chapel, the walk around the block a liturgy, the small object on the dresser a relic of ordinary grace. And the person who keeps these rituals learns that love has another face, less dazzling, more faithful. It doesn't ask to be noticed. It asks to be kept. To keep this story warm, never sensational. Here are community practices anyone can adopt, across cultures and faiths, without intruding on private lives. 1. Sunset window. Once a week, take a photograph of the sky from your window and post a single supportive line for someone grieving. Avoid names, protect privacy, amplify kindness. 2. Blue band day. Wear a plain dark band to signal quiet solidarity. If asked, share a sentence about compassion, not about any celebrity. 3. Letters to tomorrow. Write a note to someone you miss. Seal and date it for next year. Research on expressive writing shows it can reduce stress and organize difficult emotions. 4. Memory quilt. Community groups can stitch small squares embroidered with words, patience, grace, courage. Display them in clinics, libraries, or local halls as a shared hymn to resilience. 5. Quiet corners map. Crowdsource public, low-stimulus spaces, parks, riversides, reading rooms, where people can sit without pressure. None of these activities chase proof or invade privacy. They transform empathy into action. Viewers aged 35 to 75 often lead families and neighborhood circles. These gentle, practical rituals give them tools to help others, turning one caption into a lantern the whole street can carry. Respectful remembrance rests on 3 pillars: consent, context, compassion. Consent. If content was private, rumored, or obtained without permission, we let it stay behind the curtain. Grief deserves doors. Context. When revisiting older clips or interviews, we frame them as art, craft, preparation, the meanings audiences drew from performances, rather than as breadcrumbs to decode personal life. Compassion. We always ask, does sharing this help anyone watching? If the answer is no, we step back. For those carrying sorrow at home, clinicians recommend rhythm and routine. Walk at the same hour, drink water regularly, and schedule microbreaks after emotionally intense media. Short, sensory anchors. Touching a textured fabric, inhaling a calming scent, noticing 3 sounds, can downshift the nervous system. Faith communities across continents also provide safe rituals. Lighting candles in Parisian churches, bowing quietly at a Tokyo shrine, placing flowers at a Bangkok spirit house, brewing tea for remembrance in Seoul or Singapore. The message is consistent. Structure softens the sharp edges. And on this channel we promise a structure too. No speculation, no shockbait. Only humane storytelling that leaves people steadier than it found them. Grief is a language we all speak, even when we don't share words. In behavioral research, shared rituals, from memorial walks to music listening sessions, help groups regulate emotion and restore meaning. That's why a single line about shadows could ripple through the US, Korea, Japan, Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, Australia, France, Canada, Indonesia, and Europe. Each place has its own grammar of remembrance, but the sentence is the same. Love remembered is love still at work. Mature audiences often carry intergenerational roles. They support parents, children, colleagues, so they value content that offers calm rather than chaos, bridges rather than trenches. Here the bridge is art. Rewatching a scene, rehearing an OST, or revisiting a behind-the-scenes smile becomes a healthy, bounded revisit. Not to pick at wounds, but to thank the moments that shaped us. Creators can help by providing clear labels, tribute, reflection, content warnings where appropriate, and gentle pacing. A slower cut, warmer soundscapes, text on screen that breathes. When the internet hurries, we will not. We'll keep to humane speed so stories land as balm, not bruises. Keep one sentence for your next quiet evening. Some shadows never fade, and perhaps they're not meant to. In many traditions, shadow isn't merely darkness. It's shade. A place to rest between heat and road. If you're carrying a name today, don't throw it away to prove you're strong. Plant it. Water it with small good days. Let that memory teach you to be kinder to the living. For public figures who find themselves at the center of waves like this, we offer distance and goodwill. For audiences, we offer practice. Choose one compassionate action this week. Call the friend you've put off calling. Write the line you've been avoiding. Watch the sunset and let it do its slow work. Where words end, light continues. That is the promise of evenings and the mercy of mornings. We can return and return again to what helps us become more human. If you found calm here, carry it forward to your table, your street, your screens. May your next dusk feel less lonely than the last. If this story gave you steadiness, please subscribe to Update X24H, tap the bell for future gentle narratives, and share this video with someone who might need a softer evening. Thank you for being here and for keeping our community respectful, thoughtful, and kind.